course, like we could survive without a ton of international tourism. I think the tourism industry in America, and I don't know this as a fact, but I think our tourism industry is more based on domestic tourism.
Sure, go ahead and try to replace $181 billion in international tourism with domestic spending. According to ChatGPT, that's how much international travelers brought into the US economy in 2024. But hey, maybe these MAGA folks can cover the difference. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to show just how arrogant the US has become in thinking it doesn't need the rest of the world. Canadians, Europeans, and international travelers made that $181 billion possible, not local road trips. If you're new here and enjoying the content, a like and subscribe helps us hit our next goal of 4,000. Let's get into the video.
The U.S. is expected to lose over $12 billion in international tourism spending this year.
Wow.
And airline bookings are down coming from the Europe. Like it's actually looking pretty bad.
I feel like America has a reputation where a lot of people understand that we have an election every 4 years. And
I don't think so. I think they see a couple of news articles, there's the Hollywood image of America that's been created over decades that makes people want to come to America. Yeah. But then you watch the news a couple times.
To be honest, though, I think America's tourism industry will be fine. Like we could, look, if we wanted to loosen it up and make it easier to get a tourist visa, America makes it pretty hard to get a tourist visa.
Yeah, they do.
Like if we wanted to encourage tourism into the U.S., we could do it
if they want to.
Easily.
Keyword if they want to. You're right.
If they want to, sure.
Yeah,
there's tons of people from Asia who want to come to Hawaii and they want to come wherever, and it's hard to get a visa, and it's also very expensive to come to this country. Yeah. Also, of course, like we could survive without a ton of international tourism. I think the tourism industry in America, and I don't know this as a fact, but I think our tourism industry is more based on domestic tourism. Like
during COVID, for sure.
During COVID, it was this weird petri dish experiment of like, let's freeze all international tourism essentially. And remember, in the U.S., places were blowing up. Like hotels were like blowing up, campground. Like there was a ton of because everyone canceled their international trip.
There it is. According to them, they don't need international tourism. They've got it covered. So let Canadians, Europeans, Australians, and the rest of the world stay home or travel to other countries around the world. Let them rely on domestic tourism and see how far that gets them. All right, let's move on to the next video.
Folks, the United States tourism industry is collapsing. According to Forbes magazine, there's been a 40% decrease in leisure bookings from Canada to the United States in February compared to this time last year. In the same report, the European Union has also stated that there's been a 25% decrease in leisure bookings from the European Union to the United States for this year. Now, I just want to state as well, folks, that this seems to be an issue on here for some reason, but a lot of people in the southern states don't understand that the European Union is actually 29 countries and not just one country. So what does this mean for the US economy? Well, it means that 144,000 tourist-related jobs are currently at risk, unfortunately, and it could mean a loss of $2.1 billion to the US economy this year. Folks, my name is Nick. I'd love you to give me a follow. Please let me know what you think about this in the comments.
Not every American voted for the mess we're seeing right now. This guy actually gets it, and he understands the impact of the boycott. I've seen some comments lumping all Americans together, but as Canadians, we should recognize the ones who didn't support the orange guy. Remember, they are on our side. That said, the US has a long way to go, and for now, we're staying clear until things change. Let's move on to the next video.
No one's coming to America anymore, and we might end up losing the World Cup and the Olympics. Right? Tourism fell by 12% last month. That's the most since COVID. With then more specifically tourism from Germany and Denmark falling by over 30%. It's down by over 25% for Spain, Norway, Ireland, and Austria. Australia and France are down by 7%. And then, on top of that, air travel from Canada, it's down over 75% from last year, in addition to a 32% reduction in car travel from Canada. With us even seeing the founder of Kayak having a lot to say about this. Saying, quote, in just 2 months, Trump has destroyed the reputation of the U.S., shown one way by diminished travel from the EU to the U.S. And saying this is not only one more terrible blow to the U.S. economy, it also represents reputation damage that could take generations to repair.
Quick pause here because I've noticed a lot of you in the comments saying you'll wait 4 years, then go back to the U.S. once Trump is gone. But here's the thing. Even if he's out, a third of the country still voted for him. That same third still pushes the 51st state rhetoric, still talks annexation, and still sees Canada as a punchline. Personally, that's not a place I want to visit now, or 4 years from now. Let's keep going.
Additionally, another booking site found that 40% of Europeans have canceled their trips to America. And, Trump's policy of randomly detaining tourists and sending them to random prisons or deporting them immediately upon arrival, it's bringing a complete halt to tourism, according to travel companies. And this is there are now growing concerns about the U.S.'s ability to host the Ryder Cup in 2025, the World Cup in 2026, and the Olympics in 2028. Right, globally, people are asking a lot of questions. Are players and fans going to be safe? Can the safety of the Iranian or Venezuelan teams be guaranteed? And that, as others are remarking, that no one's going to be able to go given the possibility of being sent to a prison in El Salvador. Now, that said, FIFA has been downplaying the situation, with one official saying, "Time's on our side with that." I understand the policies of the administration, but I'm confident that once we get to the point where we need to get to, 16 months from now, we'll be fine. But for now, follow to stay in the loop.
For the fourth month in a row, Canadians scratched the U.S. off their travel list when they could.
When it comes for vacation, I think there's other places I would rather go.
Both air and ground traffic slowed. In April, Canadian resident return trips by air fell 19.9% compared to the same month in 2024. For road trips, the decline was steep, a 35.2% drop. What was a notion months ago of buying Canadian even in travel is now a trend that's holding. The low loonie compared to the U.S. dollar is a factor, but most blame the trade war and President Donald Trump's annexation threats.
I think it reflects authentic feelings of patriotism among Canadians. It's very difficult to affect the world as an individual, but on this one thing, you can actually do something.
Some fear their phones being searched by border guards or even detention.